So next we're going to do passive hip range of motion. And remember, passive, we're moving the body part for the person. So just let me lower this leg down. And so for passive hip range of motion, we're going to bring knee up towards their chest. We should get a bit more movement than what they could do actively, and then we would compare on the other side. For abduction and adduction, you might need a second person for this. One person to stabilize the leg, and the other person to move the limb out into abduction, depending on how much flexibility they have. And similarly for adduction, if I want to assess Jen's left leg, I'm going to move her right leg out of the way and just make sure that she can cross the midline of the body, and then I would compare to the other side. For internal and external hip rotation, we'll bring them up into that 90-degree hip angle and 90-degree knee angle. And then I'm going to stabilize the distal femur, and I'll passively externally rotate the hip or femur and passively internally rotate the hip and femur, and we'll compare to the other side. So when we measure our hip range of motion, this is the angle that we're measuring here for how much movement they have, and then we compare it to the other side. For hip extension, I'll get you flipping over in the stomach, and I'll show on Jen's right side, since I'm on this side of the table. Legs are heavy no matter who it is. So to try and do passive hip extension like this, it's somewhat difficult. It's a lot easier if we flex their knee, and then I can hook my hands underneath the end of her femur, and my forearm holds the lower leg in flexion so it doesn't flop down. Hand on the back of the pelvis, and this is much easier to do passive hip extension because the lever arm is a lot shorter, and then I would compare to the other side.